Hey guys, this is Aislinn from WCU's Nutrition, and today we're going to break down the food label. So let's take a look at this food label. The first thing you want to pay attention to is the serving size at the top of the label. It determines what the rest of the nutrition facts is based off of, such as the amount of calories, the total amount of fat, carbohydrate, etc. It tells you what you're consuming, however you have to go by the amount in the serving size. The next important aspect you want to look at is the total amount of fat, and more importantly, what types of fat are in the food. There are good and bad fats. Saturated fats are one of the bad ones. They increase your LDL, your low-density lipoproteins, which is your bad cholesterol. So you want to limit intake to less than 20 grams. It's found in meat, poultry, whole-fat dairy products, butter, coconut, and palm kernel oil. Trans fat are another bad fat, if not the worst. They are mostly man-made, meaning they are not naturally occurring in foods. They lower your HDL, your high-density lipoproteins, which is your good cholesterol, and they are found in processed foods such as cookies, chips, and crackers. So if you pick up a product and it says 0 grams of trans fat on the front, however, if you look at the ingredients and it says either partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated oil, there's trans fat in it. However, it's less than 0.5 grams. So technically, since it's such a small amount, they're allowed to say there's 0 grams in it. However, if you're tripling the amount of serving you're getting, you're tripling the amount of trans fat unknowingly. Monounsaturated fats are a good fat. They lower your LDL and they raise your HDL cholesterol levels. So you want to aim for more than 20 grams. They're found in canola, olive, and peanut oil, nuts, peanut butter, olives, and avocados. Polyunsaturated fats are another good fat. They lower your LDL, however in excess they may lower your HDL levels, so you want to take this fat in moderation. It's found in sunflower, corn, and flaxseed oil, and seafood. Omega-3 is the best fatty acid that's found in fatty fish, such as trout, tuna, and salmon. Fats are an important nutrient for they provide and store energy, they insulate your body tissues, meaning they keep your tissues warm, and they transport fat-soluble vitamins throughout the body. So let's take a look at a few examples. This is the recommended serving of monounsaturated fats. Notice how it's liquid at room temperature. This is an example of your recommended intake of saturated fat. It's a solid at room temperature. This is how much saturated fat is in 1 cup of skim milk. Notice it's way at the bottom there. Compare it to saturated fat in 1 cup of whole milk. And lastly, the most appalling. This is the amount of saturated fat in 1/4 pound cheeseburger. This is more than 50% of your daily recommended intake. Next, you want to look at the sodium content. I think I can vouch for the majority of college students when I say that we love our sodium. That's because we like our ramen noodles, our macaroni and cheese, and our frozen foods. It's every college student's staple. However, a lot of sodium intake can lead to a lot of health problems, such as high blood pressure, so you want to limit your intake to 2,400 milligrams per day. You want to limit those types of nutrients that we just talked about, the saturated fats, the trans fats, and the sodium. However, you want to get plenty of these next few types, your carbohydrates, your dietary fiber, and your protein. So let's take a look at those. Carbohydrates are the nutrient that's used in the body as a quick source of energy and are present in near all foods except for meat. You want to aim for 100 to 200 grams per day. However, be careful of what types of carbs you're getting. There are 2 types. You have simple and then you have complex. Simple carbs are carbohydrates that rapidly increase your blood sugar levels, and they're found in foods such as table sugar, soda, sugar-sweetened beverages, syrups, white flour, white rice, bleached flour, the list goes on. For example, this is how much sugar is found in 1 12-ounce can of soda. Complex carbs are the carbohydrates you want to go for. Complex carbs are carbs that are fibers that metabolize very slowly in the body. Therefore, they help stabilize your blood sugar levels. And they're found in foods such as whole grain or whole wheat cereals, breads, and pastas. They're found in legumes, beans, brown rice, and starchy vegetables. Carbohydrates are not the enemy. The brain requires 90 grams of carbs in order to function, and if it doesn't receive this amount, it will do whatever it takes to obtain it. So this will lead down to the breakdown of muscle tissue. You want to try to aim for 100 to 200 grams per day, no less than 90, no more than the recommended amount, and be sure you know what type of carb you're getting, avoiding the simple and going for more complex. Protein is the next nutrient we want to look at. It's a nutrient that is part of every cell and tissue in the body. It's made up of amino acids that feed your muscles after they wear and tear, and it's found in foods such as soy, fish, chicken and turkey breast, skim milk, low-fat yogurt, eggs, and lean cuts of beef. The last part you want to look at is the ingredients list. Pay close attention to the first few ingredients, for that is what the food is mostly composed of. If the product says white flour, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or hydrogenated oil as the first two ingredients, that's what the product is mostly made out of. So you want to look for products that have whole wheat flour or whole grain as the first ingredient. For example, let's look at peanut butter. Let's say you want to go to the store to pick up a jar of peanut butter. And when you get to the aisle, you see that there's Crazy Richard's natural peanut butter and Skippy natural peanut butter. They can't be that much different. Well, if you look at the ingredients, you'll be told a different story. So if you look at the Skippy natural peanut butter, you'll see that the ingredients are roasted peanuts, sugar, and then a hydrogenated vegetable oil. However, if you compare it to Crazy Richard's peanut butter, the only ingredient it says is peanuts. So whenever you're shopping for peanut butter, try to go for either Crazy Richard's or Smucker's, because you're just getting peanuts. There are two important dates you want to look at on food products, and they are the sell-by dates and the expiration dates. Sell-by dates tell you when the product should be sold from the store, and the expiration date tells you when the product is fresh up until. So pay close attention to these two dates to determine the freshness of the food. So as a quick wrap up, when looking at food labels, be sure to look at what one serving size is. Look at what types of fat are in the product, avoiding foods with saturated, trans, and anything that says hydrogenated. Go for items that contain mono and/or polyunsaturated fats. When looking at carbohydrates, be sure to go for a product that contains more fiber as opposed to sugar. Go for foods that contain adequate amounts of protein. Be sure to look for what ingredients are used, for they are a key informant on what you're consuming. And lastly, keep in mind, just because it says it's healthy on the product doesn't mean that it is. If you look on the food label, you'll find out everything you need to know. Well, that's it for today's WC's Nutrition. I hope you find these tips helpful, and we'll catch you next time.